Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world, and today you get to do substitution. You've probably heard that word before, perhaps in sport, where you take off one player and put on another player. So substitution is basically changing or exchanging something. Now our aim today is to be able to substitute pronumerals, which are letters in place of numbers, for given values. So we're using substitution for a specific purpose. So the kind of question I want you to be able to do is something like this. So you might be given an expression. So remember, x plus 3 is an expression because there are two terms separated by a plus sign. And you might be told that x equals 4. And you want to know the value of the expression. It's so simple. So remember that x, or any letter that we choose, stands for an unknown number. If I tell you the value of that unknown number, you just substitute. So x plus 3... I can change or substitute the x for 4. So x plus 3 becomes 4 plus 3, which is 7. Nice and easy. Let's do another one. So let's say I have 2a and a equals 6. Please don't fall into this trap. Some wonderful student I know is going to do this. So remember, 2a means 2 times a. You can't actually just substitute a for the second digit. What I mean by that is I can't just get rid of that a and then put a 6 there when it's times, because that's not right. 2a, if a equals 6, is 2 times 6, not 26. And obviously 2 times 6 is 12. That's the right way. Please don't make that mistake. I know it's really confusing. You have to watch out when you have a multiplication, because then you can't just exchange the letter for the number like we did in the first example. Alright, let's do a few more examples. Let's try this one. So let's say we have y plus 8, and I tell you that y equals 9. Very simple. The value of the expression is just 9 plus 8, which equals 17. Now let's do one very similar. So let's say, now I'm going to have two letters in it. Let's say y equals x over 8. So remember, this line here means divide. So y equals x divided by 8. So if x equals 32, what does y equal? Okay, very simple. In this case, we can just substitute x for 32. So y would be 32 divided by 8 equals 4. If I'm going too fast, please remember that you can pause the video, rewatch anything, and of course ask your wonderful teacher some questions. But there isn't too much to substitution. Okay, now I'll show you an example of another formula. You may have come across this in science. So F equals ma. So force equals mass times acceleration. This is why we use something like this, why we use substitution. There are heaps of mathematical formulas that get used in the world. Science is just one of the areas in which they're used. And we need to be able to use those formulas to substitute, okay? So F means force, m equals mass, and a equals acceleration. So how fast an object is accelerating multiplied by its mass tells you the force that it would make on impact. So let's say force equals mass times acceleration. If the mass was, say, 4 kilograms in this case, I'm not too worried about units because this is maths and not science. And let's say a acceleration was, I don't know, 3 meters per second. We can substitute a and m into this equation. Now, we can't just say m4 and a3, so force equals 43. That's wrong. Because remember, this isn't m is the first digit and a is the second digit. Remember, it's m times a. So force would be 4 times 3 equals 12. So when there is multiplication, you need to be a little careful. Alright, one more example. Okay, let's do this question. I bought 2 shirts and a pair of shorts, which cost $30, and the total cost was C. And the question is asking you to write an expression, so you now know what that means, for C in terms of S, where S is the cost of shirts. Had to throw in one there about clothes. I mean, it takes some effort to dress as well as your wonderful teacher does. So I'm going to explain what this question means. So you know what expression means. It's one or more terms separated by some plus or minus signs. Okay, so I'm actually going to write here an equation, because I'm going to write C equals something, and on the right hand side will be an expression. So what this is actually saying is that I have to find the cost, but I don't know the cost unless I know the cost of shirts. Now by now you should be okay with the idea of writing C for cost, an unknown number, equals something in terms of S, another unknown quantity. So what I'm saying is my answer will be something like C equals blah 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 with some S's in it. Alright, so I have C, which is the cost, equals, now I'm going to write an expression. So the cost of the clothes was $30 for the pair of shorts, plus 2 times whatever the cost of the shirts were, plus 2 times S. Okay, again, I don't know S, I don't know C, they're unknown quantities, but I can still write equations and expressions using those unknown quantities. So that's the answer. This sentence here says cost equals $30 plus 2 times the cost of a shirt. Okay, fantastic. So one more part to this question. Okay, so the last part of the question, use your equation to find C, the cost, if S equals $110. This is essentially saying if the shirts are $110 each, what would the total cost be? So we had before that C equals $30 plus 2 times the cost of a shirt. So if S equals 110, then we have C equals 30 plus 2 times 110. Remember BODMAS, we do multiplication first. So 2 times 110 is 220, plus the 30 is 250. So the cost will be 250. Okay, now you know how to substitute. Your life is about to change. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a wonderful day.